So let's start with fundamentals today because I believe that often the major lessons and major answers lies in the fundamental conceptual knowledge, but we seldom take it seriously. So today let's understand about what is vision, mission, objectives, goals, and core values. I'm sure we all have heard about it, but if you are an employee working for a corporate, MNC, or even a startup, are you really aware of the vision, mission, objectives, goals, and core values of your company that you're working for in detail and depth? I'm sure no. Most of you will not. You will have to scroll down your website to understand. And that is the gap. That is the fundamental gap that we all have as an employee, as a company, as a startup idea, that we are not clear about the fundamentals that we are offering to the world. Right? So let's see how to define vision, mission, objectives, goals, and core values for your startup idea. Now, let's say vision is just a dream. It's what you want to achieve, what you want to become. It is what. It is not the present. It is not reality. So let's say a 10-year-old kid says, when I grow up, I want to become a doctor. So that what he wants or she wants to become is the vision, which is not reality right now, but just a dream, is the vision. Now, why that kid wants to become a doctor, the purpose behind it is the mission. Maybe he, she, or they wants to become a doctor because they have seen a lot of family members who are doctors, who have saved lives, who have been a strong support system in the transformative journey of their patients in their living a healthy life. So he, she, or they also want to become, that kid wants to become that. Now, how will that kid become a doctor, and how will that kid fulfill the purpose that he, she, or they have defined for themselves? So objectives and goals are the how of the what and why of the vision and mission. So objectives is to become a doctor, that kid needs to pass 10th 12th grade exams with good scores, also needs to give entrance exam and get an admission in good college. Those are the objectives. Now goals are the micro level milestones to achieve that what and why, and also the objectives, the vision, mission, and objectives. So the goals are basically the milestones that in 10th grade I need to get 90% of scores, in 12th grade again 90% of scores, in entrance exam certain amount of marks to get into cutoff to get into this college that I have aspired for. And the core values is how to achieve all of those things and maintain a good dignified value system, principles for the purpose that I want to lead a life with. So maybe I'll be very honest and become a doctor in a very dignified way. I'll never cheat in exams. I will be very ethical during my residency. I will always be punctual and disciplined. All of these are core values. So define these for your startup idea, project idea, and I'm sure it will help you. Before jumping into your startup idea, pause and ask, is this even worth pursuing? One quick and powerful way to find out is through a SWOT analysis. Start with your strengths. What gives your idea an edge? For example, if you are building a local organic skincare brand, your strength might be authentic ingredients, sustainable packaging, or strong local supplier network. Be honest about your weaknesses, because maybe limited funds, lack of brand awareness, or a small team can be your weakness. Acknowledging them helps you better prepare for strategies, not excuses. Now look outside. What opportunities exist in the market? Is there a rising demand for eco-friendly products, for growing digital shopping behavior that you can tap into? And finally, identify threats, maybe big competitors, changing consumer preferences, or government regulations. The goal isn't to fear them, but to plan for them. So next time when you brainstorm a startup idea, grab a paper, draw 4 boxes, and do your SWOT analysis in detail, because great entrepreneurs don't just dream, they evaluate, plan, and execute. So do it today. If you have a startup idea or have a new project idea, start doing it. If you have a startup idea or want to pitch a project in your company, before you launch your startup or pitch your project, stop scrolling and let's quickly check if your idea can actually survive in the real world using one fundamental tool, which is pestle analysis. We all have heard about it, right? Now, P in pestle stands for political. Ask what government policies or regulations might impact your business. For example, if you are starting an electric bike or scooter startup, favorable EV subsidies and green initiatives can be your biggest boosters. Also, be mindful of the geopolitical things going on around the world and what is the scenario in our country. E stands for economical. Look at the economy. How's the market doing? Are people spending or saving at the moment? In a slow economy, a luxury skincare startup might struggle, but affordable, value-based brands can thrive. Now, next, S in pestle stands for social factors. Now, think social. What do people believe, value today? If your idea connects to trends like sustainability, mental wellness, or convenience, you are on the right path. Fourth, T for technological factors in pestle. Now, check tech. Is new technology disrupting your space or empowering it? For example, AI tools these days are transforming education startups, especially faster than ever today. L in pestle stands for legal factors. Don't ignore the legal side. The copyright, data protection, licenses, labor laws, these can make or break your operations. Be really alert and mindful of the legal factors. E, the last E in pestle stands for environmental factors. From climate friendly packaging to waste reduction, sustainability isn't just a buzzword these days, you see. It's an expectation. So be clear on that. So before you pitch or plan, run your idea through this pestle analysis because smart startups don't just think about profit. They really thrive on preparedness. So start making your pestle once you have created your mission and have understood your SWOT. Got a startup idea or a project plan? Before you start building it, test it smartly with the BMC, Business Model Canvas, a one-page blueprint that shows whether your idea can actually work or not. Now, there are 9 key elements that you need to check on. Number 1 is customer segments. Who are you really solving the problem for? For example, if you are launching a meal prep service, your key audience might be busy working professionals or fitness conscious millennials. Number 2, value proposition. What makes you stand out? Your value proposition is the why you. Maybe it's the healthy meals delivered in just 15 minutes or custom-based diet meal plans for your customers. Element number 3, channels. How will you reach your customers? Maybe through app, websites, social media, or partnerships with gyms. Maybe if it's a meal prep service-based business, that's your distribution channel. Figure that out. Number 4 is customer relationships. How do you keep them coming back? Maybe through loyalty programs, subscription models, or great customer service. Number 5, revenue streams. How does the money flow in? Very important. One-time purchases, monthly subscriptions, or add-ons like nutrition, coaching, etc. is something that you need to figure out from the start itself. Element number 6 is key resources and activities. What do you need to make it happen? For example, chefs, delivery network, tech team, suppliers, and your core daily operations activities like menu planning and logistics. Number 7, key partners. Who supports your business? Maybe suppliers, fitness influencers, or payment gateway partners. They make your model efficient. Element number 8, cost structure. Finally, what does it cost to run this business? Kitchen rent, salaries, marketing, tech maintenance, all of it adds up. So figuring that out, very, very important. So before pitching or investing, map your idea on the business model canvas. It's the reality check every entrepreneur needs before taking it off. So create that BMC, business model canvas, today for your startup, and I'm sure it will help you while at the planning stage itself. Start creating it. Got a brilliant smart startup idea or a project plan to pitch? Well, before you pour all your savings into it, let's test if it actually feasible. Here's how to evaluate using the Telos framework. Let's learn it today. Used by many project managers and investors worldwide. Now, step 1, T stands for technical feasibility and Telos. Ask yourself, do you have the right technology and skills to build it? For example, if you are creating a fitness tracking app, do you have access to developers, UX, UI designers, and health data integration tools or not? Yes or no? Number 2, E stands for economic feasibility. Can it make money? Estimate your startup costs, pricing model, and break even point. If your app costs rupees 5 lakh to build it, can you recover it through subscription or ads? Yes or no? Step number 3, L stands for legal feasibility. Is your idea legally sound? Check licenses, privacy policies, data protection, and local business laws. Also check on the competitors, especially if you are handling user data or financial transactions. Step number 4, O in Telos stands for operational feasibility. Very, very important. Can you actually run it day to day? Do you have the team, delivery process, and support system to make it work consistently? And last, number 5, S stands for scheduling feasibility. Can you launch on time? Every month of delay costs money in a project. Creating a realistic timeline from idea to prototype to launch is very, very crucial. So before you start, run your idea through Telos framework, where it's technical, economic, legal, operational, and scheduling checks. Because a great startup isn't just about creativity and innovation and fresh idea, but it's more about feasibility and execution to make it a success. So check and create it today with the Telos framework and evaluate your startup idea or a project plan. Before you launch your startup or new project idea, ask yourself, how tough is the market you are entering into right now? Now let's use Porter's 5 forces framework today to test how strong or weak your business idea really is. Now, force number 1 is competitive rivalry. Check how crowded is your space. If you are launching a coffee brand, are there already too many players here like Starbucks, Blue Tokai, Cafe Coffee Day, etc.? Because higher competition is equal to lower chances of standing out at times. So be mindful of that. Force number 2, threat of new entrants. How easy is it for new competitors to enter in your genre? If the entry cost is low, like in digital marketing, your idea might face constant pressure. The harder it is to copy, the safer your market. Force number 3, bargaining power of buyers, your customers, your consumers. Can your customers easily switch to another brand? Yes or no? For example, in online food delivery, customers can jump from Swiggy to Zomato very quickly in seconds, because that means price wars and low loyalty. So check that out. Force number 4, bargaining power of suppliers. Can suppliers control your cost or speed? Maybe yes, maybe no. If your clothing startup depends on one fabric supplier, they hold the power to diversify your supply chain to stay in control. Do not let that happen. And force number 5, threat of substitutes. What else can replace your product even if you are in a monopoly? A fitness app competes not just with other applications, apps, but with yoga studios, gyms, or even home workout at times. So always identify your indirect competition as well, which is very, very important. So before investing your time and money, run your startup through these 5 forces, Porter's 5 force model. It's not just about your idea. As I always say, it's about the battlefield you are entering. So be mindful of that. Create and evaluate your startup idea or a project plan with these 5 force model, and I'm sure you will get clarity more and more. Let's break it down using the lean canvas method today. It's similar to the business model canvas that I have discussed in my previous video. So let's test if your idea is practical, profitable, and possible or not to launch in the market. Step number 1, problem. Start with a problem. What pain point are you solving? For example, people struggling to eat healthy when they are short on time might be one of the problems that you have identified. Step number 2, understand the customer segments. Who exactly faces this problem? So maybe it's busy professionals or working parents looking for quick, nutritious meals, solution for their food. Step number 3, unique value proposition. What makes your solution stand out? Healthy food ready in 5 minutes. That's a clear, irresistible promise that you can provide. Step number 4, solution. How are you solving the problem in reality? Maybe your idea, a subscription-based meal kit that delivers fresh ingredients on weekly basis, can be a solution that you are providing. Step number 5, channels. How will you reach your customers? Maybe think Instagram advertisements, corporate tie-ups, or health influencer collaborations might be a possibility. Step number 6, revenue streams and cost structure. What's your money plan? Very important. You earn through subscriptions, but your costs includes ingredients, packaging, and delivery. Make sure numbers add up, which is very, very important. And step number 7, key metrics and unfair advantage. Measure what matters. Repeat customers, cost per order, or delivery time. What is the priority? And ask, what do you have that others can't copy? Maybe your nutritionist designed recipes or maybe exclusive meal planner app might be an added advantage. So before diving into execution, sketch your lean canvas. It's like your ideas reality check, quick, clear, and brutally honest. So do create it today, and I hope this helps while evaluating your startup plan. Ask these 7 questions to yourself. So, got a great startup idea? Awesome. But before you dive in, ask yourself, what could go wrong? That's where the risk assessment metric steps in. Let's learn it today. Step number 1, identify possible risks that can happen in your startup. Every startup faces risks, financial, operational, or market-based. For example, if you are launching a food delivery app, your risks might include tech glitches, competitor entry, or low customer retention as well. Very, very important. Step number 2, assess likelihood and impact. Now rate each risk. Likelihood, that is how likely is it to happen, and number 2, impact, that is how bad will it hurt your business, affect your business. So plot it on a 3x3 or a 5x5 grid. Top right corner, high likelihood plus high impact is equal to priority risk. Create it like that in Excel sheet or wherever you can. Step number 3, prioritize and plan response. For that food delivery app, a server crash might have high likelihood and high impact. So your plan, use reliable cloud hosting and backup servers. Meanwhile, a negative review may be low impact. Just monitor and respond quickly. As simple as that. Step number 4, review regularly. Keep updating your metrics as your business grows. Very, very important, because new products is equal to new risks. It's not a one-time checklist. It's a living map for smart decisions. So keep on updating it, keep on checking it on regular basis. Thinking of launching a new startup? Before you invest a single rupee in it, here's one powerful test you can do to evaluate. That is cost-benefit analysis. Step number 1, list all the costs. Like start with the money you will spend, for example, product development, marketing, salaries, tech investments, all the cost, legal paperwork, etc. For instance, if you are building a homemade skincare brand, your costs may include raw materials, packaging, licenses, even Instagram advertisements. Step number 2, list all the benefits that might involve in your project, like estimate the value you will gain. For example, monthly revenue, customer lifetime value, brand partnerships, market expansion potential, etc. Example, your skincare brand may expect 2 lakh per month in sales with 40% repeat customers. Step number 3, compare costs versus benefits now. Compare the two. If your skincare brand costs 5 lakh to launch but has the potential to earn maybe rupees 24 lakh a year, now that's a strong positive return, meaning your startup idea is worth pursuing. And step number 4, evaluate the ROI, which is return on investment. Use a simple formula. ROI is equal to total benefits minus total cost divided by total cost into 100. If ROI is high, your idea makes financial sense. But if it's low or negative, rethink, refine, or pivot the project or the new startup idea. So before you fall in love with your own idea of startup, do the math. A clear cost benefit analysis, because it will result in smarter decisions plus fewer surprises as well. So do it today. Start evaluating, start calculating like this. So before you launch your startup, ask yourself 5 times why. Well, the 5 whys method reveals whether your idea is genuinely strong or just an impulsive excitement. So how do we do it? Step number 1, start with your startup idea. Let's say your idea is to start a healthy meal delivery service in your town, in your city. Now, step number 2, ask why 5 times. Let's say the first why is, why do I want to start this business? Because there's demand for healthy eating. Okay, but why is there a demand? Maybe people have busy schedules and want convenient healthy meals at their doorstep. Okay, but why can't existing brands solve this well? Because their meals are expensive or lack variety. Okay, but why can I do it better? Why? Maybe because I can offer affordable plans using local sourcing. Okay, but why will customer choose me long term? Okay, but maybe because I can offer personalization on calories, diet type, and weekly variations. So by the 5th why, you will be able to uncover the real value of your idea, or maybe perhaps you will realize it's still not strong enough and you need to work on it. Now, step 3, analyze what you have already discovered. So if your answers show clarity on number 1, real problem, number 2, actual demand, number 3, differentiation, and number 4, sustainability, which is important in today's time, then your startup idea has good potential. So if your answers become vague when you are asking why 5 times, it's time to rethink or maybe perhaps refine your startup idea. Because great startups aren't built on assumptions all the time. They are built on clarity, and you need clarity. So you use the 5 whys method to make sure that your idea solves a real problem, not just a temporary excitement that you have for yourself in this entrepreneurial journey. I hope this helps. So, got a great startup idea? Well, before you launch it in the market, ask this very important question to yourself. Is my idea internally aligned to actually work in the market or not? So, let's understand and test it through using McKinsey's 7S framework. Now, what is the 7S? Well, the 7S framework looks at the 7 internal elements that must align for a startup to succeed in the market, not just from a strategy perspective, but from people, culture, and systems perspective as well. So let's see how to apply this in your startup. Let's say your startup idea is online skill-based learning platform. To create it, now the first S is strategy. Ask yourself, what's your game plan? Maybe is it affordable, short, job-ready courses or not? Number 2, S, structure. How is your job startup organized? Maybe with a small core team with freelance trainers perhaps. The third S is systems. What processes run daily operations in your startup? Maybe through LMS platform, automated payment systems or feedback systems. Number 4, shared values. What do you stand for? What does your startup stand for? Maybe practical learning, accessibility, continuous growth, etc. Number 5, style. How do your leaders work? What are their working patterns? Maybe collaborative, learner first, or maybe feedback driven attitude or approach. Number 6, staff. Do you have the right people that you need for your startup? Yes, I have subject matter expert, content creators, and tech support. Okay. So, number 7, skills. What are your core strengths for this startup? Maybe instructional design, digital delivery, or maybe learner engagement. Okay. So even if one S is weak while evaluating this, like skills or systems, your startup may struggle even with a great idea. So before execution, run your idea through McKinsey's 7S because successful startups aren't built on ideas alone, they are built on alignment. So fix your alignment before scaling or thinking about scaling your startup at one go. Try to evaluate, try to self-reflect, and try asking yourself questions related to your startup through this McKinsey's 7S framework.